Good day. Robots. What do you know about robots? I had the good fortune for a long time of teaching a student who was doing a doctorate in robotics, and I learned so much. You will be amazed at what is happening with robots. Today we're talking about home robots, 30 words, this YouTube, this thing, the word list, the article I got them from, all in the same order. How easy. Let's get straight into it. First word, release. I can't wait for AKB to release their next single. To release is to put something out. Someone introduces a product, a song, a movie. Release. Aware. I am aware of the fact that it seems a little strange that I like AKB. To be aware of something, aware is you realize, you know. You can see. If you're aware of something, you can see. If robots are aware, robots are becoming aware so they can see and they can sense things around them. Technologist. Technologists are a relatively new bunch of people that started appearing in the 1980s and 90s. A technologist is a person who deals with technology. They're the guys who are building these robots. Emoticon. Happy face. Semicolon, close bracket, happy face, a smiley. That's an emoticon. The use of emoticons now is spread through all cultures in the world. Everyone uses emoticon. Roll. I was very happy when the train finally rolled into the station. To roll is to move along on wheels, something that's turning. You can roll a barrel, you can roll down the hill, a train rolls on wheels. Roll. Basically, everyone has to accept that robots are going to become part of our future. Basically, I think it's like kihonteki. It means it is. It just is. Hang out. The time will also come when robots are advanced enough where you can hang out with them like you can hang out with a person. To hang out with someone is you hang out with your friends. You don't hang out with people at work. When you're at work, you're not hanging out. If you go to the bar after work with your workmates, then you're hanging out. It's being together in the context of friendship. Habit. It is my habit to have a can of Chuhai on Friday nights. Habit is something you do regularly as a rule, maybe at the same time, on the same day, every day. Habit. Personality. The man was very happy to meet a girl with a kind and friendly personality. Personality is the way you are, your character, your nuances, the way you are. It's what makes you a person, okay? Your feelings, all of that, personality. Intend. I intend for you to become fluent in English through using vocab Voyage. If you intend something, you mean it to be. People build robots intending them to become companions for old people in Japan. In America, they build robots intending to kill people. That's the difference between the two countries. It's true. That's what drives robotics in America. There's war. In Japan, there's old people care. It's the way it is. Basically, that's how it is. Companion. I am very happy to have found a good companion in my wife Akiko. A companion is someone you spend a lot of time with. It's a friend, but it's someone who's tight with you, who's very close to you. They're talking about companion robots for old people. Where old people, they're not home alone, they've got a robot who is a companion. Little freaky it sounds, but basically it's going to happen. Gadget. There is always new gadgets coming out of Japan that people cannot believe. Gadgets are toys which are kind of fun. Gadgets like Tamagotchi was a gadget, and GoPro's a gadget, and the machine you put into, if you can get beer and you can put a machine in it that makes it fizzy again, that's a gadget. Age. Age is a verb. To age is to get older. One of the most common uses of the word age that you may be aware of is Japan having an aging population. That is an adjective. Aging is an adjective. To age is a verb. Soup up. Many people like to buy old cars and soup them up. To soup something up, it's an idiom. It's nothing to do with soup, miso soup. To soup something up is to make it more powerful. If you buy a car with a little engine, take the little engine out, put a big engine in, you've souped it up. Babysitter. My mother always used to find very strict babysitters to look after me when I was a child. A babysitter is someone who looks after you in your house when your parents are away. I don't know if it happens so much in Japan. It's big in New Zealand. General. The general opinion in Japan is that nuclear power is not a good thing. It means overall. Futsu, it means overall. The general opinion is that Kei Nishikori is a very good tennis player. The general opinion is that Kei Nishikori will be Japan's best tennis player ever. Availability. The availability of meat pies in Sapporo has just been made a lot better since they started selling them at Costco. Availability is the state of something being available. If there's availability, you can get it. No availability, you can't. It's unavailable. Roughly. I imagine the temperature outside today is roughly 1 degree. Not exactly 1 degree, around 1 degree. If you want to buy a new car, it will cost you roughly 1.8 million yen. Not exact, but about that. Creator. I am very excited to be the creator of vocab Voyage, along with Akito. Creator is someone who creates something, someone who makes something. Your Japanese Nobel Prize winners, they were the creators of the blue LED. Functionality. The functionality of mobile phones has gone ahead hugely in the last 5 years. Functionality means the amount of different functions, means what different things you can do with it. If you get a cheap phone, not much functionality. Expensive phone, much more functionality. Robots will have lots of functionality. Remotely. My mate Jamie, he showed me the other day how he can look at his baby in her crib remotely. Means you can do something but not being there. Jamie and I were in Starbucks having a coffee. I think maybe he was having a soy latte, I think. And he could remotely look at his wee daughter. Not there, but doing it. Crowdfunding. These days, if you have a new invention, you can bring it into production through crowdfunding at Kickstarter.com. Crowdfunding, it's a new thing. Okay, I come up with an invention, I want to make it, but I don't have the money. I put it on Kickstarter.com and I say to everyone, look at my idea. Help me with the money and you'll get something back. Have a look at Kickstarter.com. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. Fiddle. When I hop in the car, I have to fiddle with the radio to try and get a station. To fiddle is to move a little bit. If people who like cars, they fiddle with the car to try and soup it up. Okay? Fiddle with something. Not big changes, little changes. To fiddle, fiddle, fiddle. My mother always said, stop fiddling, which means fiddle, fiddle. Recognize. If you have been studying vocab Voyage very hard, you may recognize some of the words, a few of the words from older lists. A couple of the words that I've put up are the same words, not on the tests, in the post-tests. So maybe you recognize them. Recognize, to notice something from before. Ah, I recognize you. I've seen you before. Secure. After the tsunami, people did not have to secure their houses because people were so honest. Secure is to make safe, to make strong. The beer factory in Sendai, there was beer all over the place. They didn't have to secure it. If that happened in New Zealand, that beer would be gone. People would steal it. So they would have to secure it, put a security guard there. Responsive. Girls are always very responsive to a nice bunch of flowers. Responsive, to respond. You give them a nice bunch of flowers, expecting them to be happy, and they are happy. They are responsive. Amass. If you keep going with Vocab Voyage, you will amass a huge vocabulary. To amass is to get together. You can amass money. You can amass collection items, stamps. You can amass memories. You can amass to build up a pile of something, a stock of something. Essentially, Vocab Voyage is about learning English in a fun way that is relevant to current news. Essentially means at the heart of something. Means the main part of something. Essential means you need. Essentially is the main part of something. Mount. This chair I am sitting on is mounted on wheels. So that means I can roll back and forth. To mount something is to put something on wheels or something with so it can move. Robots are mounted on wheels so they can move around. The Roomba is mounted on wheels so it can move around and vacuum your house while you are not there. Last word, verbal. Verbal means spoken. I had to turn my Siri off while I'm doing this presentation because Siri responds to verbal instruction and sometimes she listens to me and starts talking. Verbal means by voice. Thank you very much. Enjoy and see you next time.